Hi, today we're going to go over a little simple procedure for dealing with hammer-toe, tight feet, crampy feet. This technique can be used by anyone at any time. You will need your set of 4 Fascia Buddy, and it's just a little tray like this. Once they're being used, you can put them in there. You'll need some oil. This is olive oil, but you could use any type of massage oil or coconut oil. You want a face cloth, a towel, and some paper towels to wipe up. So at first you just take your socks off. Oh, and by the way, you can do this when you're watching TV, because it's a five-minute process that you want to do every day for a period of a month to see the effect of it over time. Because as tissues adhere, if you have very tight muscles that are just used to being that way, you need to coax them, you need to separate them over time, and it's not a one-time event. You need to do it regularly and consistently. So you take your towel and just put it on the floor in front of you. You expose the foot that you're going to be working with. The amount of oil you'll be using will be depending on how much hair you have on your tissues. And bear in mind, we're going to be going over uneven surfaces, and with that you'll need a little bit more oil to work with that. So so that's all in place. So first you'd want to take your oil and lubricate, and we're going to do, the first thing we're going to do is what's called static cupping or stationary cupping. We're going to apply a suction over tissues above and below, and then on the target tissues that that are cramping the toes, pulling them this way. So that there's 2 muscles that are involved, one below and one along the medial side of the shin here. So we're going to lubricate that area up. Again, the more hair you have, you want to pat down that hair so that it's a nice oily surface. The sports game could be playing while you're listening to it and doing this process. And then you're going to take your cup. You have 4 sizes, and the 4 sizes are extra small, small, medium, and large. So you're going to take the extra small, and if you can reach down over here and put it down here, you remember now you're going to have your thumb below, you're going to have your fingers on top, you're going to take the one corner and you're going to press it down and flatten it as much as you can until you get that kind of suction. Then you're going to take your medium cup, 2 fingers underneath, thumb on top, take one edge, pull and push, and then you get a suction on top. So you'll have a pull in the bottom, you can see the tissues being pulled up there. You're going to have some pull on the top here. Then you're going to take the medium sized cup and apply it, and the large sized cup up here. And this one you may or may not be able to apply, but if you can, great. If you can't, then I would suggest getting 2 sets and having a variety of size of cups so that you can put one on each edge. And if the cup falls, you could maybe use 2 hands to apply it like that. And so now you're good. This is called static cupping. You can just keep that there like that. Watch your game for 2 minutes. The intensity of the pull can be quite strong. You'll leave this for about a minute like that, and then what you're going to do is you're going to do active range of motion. So you'll bend and flex and extend, flex, extend for about a minute. If the cups pop off, you can see, look at the redness there, that's okay. Don't put it so strong if it's painful. And then do that kind of flexing and extending for about a minute. And then, like, this is getting kind of intense for me, so I'm going to back it off. If at any time it feels too intense, back things off. And so yeah, you want to kind of create movement by doing this movement while the cupping is pulling at the same time. you're allowing the fascial planes to start to kind of separate. Now the muscle that we're targeting over here is most exposed here, so this one is important to have. It slides under the bone here and under the calf muscle, so there's not much exposed here, but that muscle that attaches to the bottom of the feet goes right along the shin bone here. So now I'm doing, and you can also do active, like you can do passive range of motion where you just move your toes with your hands and feet like that. So get as much range of motion as possible. And this will give you more range of motion. You can do that. Once they're done, now you can see I've got some nice erythema here, redness, which is okay because that just means that the tissues have been pulled up, new blood, new fluid movement is happening there, and that's okay. So now, once we've done this type of static movement, we're going to try to do some moving cupping. So you take your face cloth, if you're flexible enough to do this, that's great. If you can't do that, then you may need to do it this way, but either or, you're going to try to manipulate the cup below the bottom of your foot, but I'm going to do it this way so you can see. So you take the cup, flatten it, and then you're going to turn it while supporting the edges, and you're just going to turn it a little bit like this, back and forth, and you're going to move it up and then down. So I don't know if you can see that, but I'm twisting and moving. And if you lose pressure like that, no problem. It's just a matter of taking the fingers underneath. Remember to have them underneath, not over here, but just on the edge. Thumb on top. Pull with the fingers and push with your thumb so you get a nice strong pull. If that is too intense, again, just don't push as deep with your thumb. And then again, sort of hold the whole cup so that you kind of keep the integrity of the cup, and then just twist. You should feel a strong pull, and it can be intense. The more adhesive tissues are, the more it's going to be painful or intensely full of sensation. And then again, if you just lose, just reapply and just work it. And you can do that 3 to 4 or 5 minutes. Actually, maybe not that long, like 2 minutes. Just getting a good, and even you can see how I've got a good suction here. I can even just kind of jiggle and pull and move. You're trying to create as much circulation into this zone. Activate these tissues. Bring the fluids into these tissues. So move it around. So in this motion here, I'm just, find what works for you, right? So I'm twisting and pulling towards, and then see this nice redness. You want that. You want this nice redness. So now I'm going to do the same on the top, but I'll use a bigger one because I'm just going to want to stimulate these tissues. And now this can be very tender. Again, just losing pressure, but every time I lose pressure, I just reapply. And again, that's going to feel, you're bringing a lot of life to the tissues here. See how close I can get to the edge of the toe before these cracks? So again, kind of work that whole zone, front and back, top and bottom. That's, so working along here. See how I'm creating the redness. And then you lose pressure, just reapply, find a flat zone, reapply, adjust the pressure again so that it's not too intense, but intense enough. You do want to feel like things are pulling apart and being activated. So don't be shy of the sensation. And if you feel the sensation, know that you're doing some work. You're opening up these tissues that have been locked for a long time. So now I've got some nice redness going on here. Now I'm going to do cupping along the edge here. So I would apply a little bit more fluid, the oil I mean, And I'm going to try this one. And this one here, what we're going to do is we're going to apply the cup on this nice flat area here. For women, if you're a woman doing this, you can apply the small cup. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze the edges, and I'm going to make it oblong so that as I squeeze the edges, you can see that it actually changes the shape like this, which allows me to then get along this narrow area here, which is where that muscle is. So first I apply the pressure, and then I squeeze it like this, and I move up and down. Oh, it's very intense. So it's very intense, so I'm now backing off because it's a bit too much. And then I'm moving it up and down. See how that tissue, I'm kind of tilting the cup down, pointing it and driving it along that edge of the bone here. Up and down. Up and down. And then you can even do a little bit of back and forth over the edge of the bone and just kind of again stimulate. And you can even flex and extend your toes while doing this so that you're working the tissues as it's moving. You can see that nice redness going on there. And then just to balance that side out with that side, it's good to kind of do a little bit, find the flat area of the applying the cup. So you don't want to apply a cup down here because it's too uneven. You want to apply it where the flat area is, and then change the shape of the cup so that it'll fit the terrain, and then you can work the tissues. So all of this while the game is going on, you're doing this little self-care routine here, and you lose pressure, apply a bit more oil, and just find that tug. I don't know if you can zoom in and see how much tissue I have pulled up in there. If I apply it stronger, there'll be more tissue in there. So just find that comfort zone that, so like at this point, it's quite intense. Get it to the point where it's a little bit painful, but still comfortable enough that you can manage. Again, until you get a nice redness there, and everything will feel all activated, engaged, and you can do that. If you get a strong mark like this, that'll dissipate over a day, and then try to do it every day. If it's like that, you can do it lighter, don't have to do it as strong. But these will all disappear, and it'll all start to kind of create a lot of activity, circulation. When you're done with your cupping, take your face cloth or the paper towel, and you can just wipe off any excess oil, and then take your cups and wash them in soapy water, and put them in your tray. Wash them with soapy water, let them dry, and then they're good to go for the next day. Your measures will be how it feels during the day, less discomfort, able to stand on it longer, and see if there's any change in the actual tension of the toes here. All right, thank you.